Holy cow, did I learn a ton from this book.
In other words, you're trying to tell me that had you read this book earlier, you would now be president.
Well, I would be more powerful than I am now, categorically.
I can't believe that. But
you open the book by talking about the resistance you get toward trying to teach someone about power, that it somehow seems dirty, nasty, objectionable. I don't want to know. I don't want to learn. And yet this is the most popular, oversubscribed course at Stanford. So now everyone feels like they have to know. And you give a great argument for why it's like, look, I don't care about what your motivations are. This is still stuff that you should learn. So what is the argument you make to the people who think like power, like my even wanting power makes me a bad person?
Well, I think you put your finger on why many people object to this. They have seen power used for bad. They've seen bad people use power to do bad things. And so they say, I don't want anything to do with it. So it's like, if you saw somebody shoot somebody with a gun, you would say, well, I don't want anything to do with guns, even though you can use guns for target practice or hunting or, for recreation, for all kinds of things. And so I think people confuse how power has been used with the necessity for power in order to get things done. So Stanford Business School's motto, change lives, change organizations, change the world. As you know from your own experience, both in business and in politics, if things were going to change without influence, they would have already. So therefore, if you are going to make for instance, the kinds of reforms in the electoral system that you're interested in, or if you want to try to somehow get people to have guaranteed basic income, or if you're going to get anything done, clean up the climate or do whatever you want to do, it's going to require influence and power. Because that's the necessity of social life.
The things that you detail about trying to create a personal, powerful brand, I'd gone through many of them, which were things around a blog, conference speaking, writing a book if that's applicable, a lot of behaviors that end up marking you as an expert in some way.
Yep. And also, to me, I think the biggest element of a personal brand is to tie what you are doing or trying to do or the job for which you're applying, tying that to something about your background. So a good example is my friend Tristan Walker and Company Brands, which was bought by Procter & Gamble. Tristan is a African-American man who always had trouble shaving because of the African-American skin is different, and he would get razor bumps, and so double-edged razors didn't work very well. And when he went finally into various drugstores and stores, he saw that there was very few of them that had been designed for people of color, either for men or for women. And so the whole theory behind Walker and Company Brands was, here was someone, a Stanford MBA graduate, by the way, here was someone who was designing products for himself and the people that he knew, the people in his community. And that made him, when I talked to Jeff Jordan, the founder of Open Table, who was at that time working for Andreessen Horowitz, he said, we like to fund people who, when you look at them, you say, these people are uniquely qualified to be driving and building this kind of company. So who is better qualified to build a company with grooming products for people of color than someone of color? Who is better qualified? It was also interesting because Tristan comes to my class, and there was an African-American student who had not, by the way, said very much in the class. And we decided to randomly call on him, and he said, describe your brand. And he described his brand very succinctly. He had come from a very poor neighborhood in which there were enormous health inequalities and adverse health consequences. And he said, I went to medical school because I'm a black man and I want to bring medical help. I want to bring medical care to the black community. What a powerful brand. A sentence or two, which explains why he's not only that he's gone to fancy medical schools, which he has, and he's now in Stanford Business School, which he was, but why he was doing this, how he could tie what his mission was to his own life experience.